How's it going, guys? So it's been another 2 months, which means I'm here with another manga haul. I'm sorry that they're always bi-monthly, but I'm not getting that much manga, and everything in this haul pretty much is in store and current stuff. I did put in an order to good old book depository for a few books. I'm sure you know what that means, so I'll put those at the end of the video. But let me get started with the big boys, of course. First up is Mr. Stomunihei's Blam Volume 4 Master Edition. And this is the first volume that changes the theme of the new covers. Usually the front would have the figure facing forward, and of course the back would have the back of the figure. But I guess they decided to go with a close-up this time of the figures in the front. And of course, as always, this thing is huge. I mean, compared to Bestiarius here, I mean, it's just huge. It's enormous. Of course, Bestiarius is one of the smaller sizes of manga, but happy to continue the story. I finished Volume 3 not too long ago, and typical for Stomunihei, he does the whole world changing, and it's not as drastic as in other manga like in Biomega. And next I have some hardcovers here. Of course, this took forever to come out. It is Leiji Matsumoto's Queen Emeraldus Volume 2. I'm not sure why Kodansha took so long to publish the second volume. Maybe they were waiting to sell some more of Volume 1. I'm not sure. But of course, I'm happy to pick this up. Classic Leiji Matsumoto work. And of course, the next hardcover is also Kodansha. This was kind of a surprise. It is Appleseed Alpha by Io Kuroda. And I kind of gave up on the idea of getting a reprint of Masamune Shiro's original Appleseed. So I was happy to see that they actually put this together. It had been on order for who knows how long, and I think Kodansha waited to collect what is 2 volumes worth of manga in this hardcover. And as you can see, Kuroda's art is very interesting. It's like he works with inks only or something. But if you've seen the anime, this should be kind of an adaptation of Appleseed Alpha. That was an American production, I believe. And the only other credits for Kuroda that I've seen is a book called Sexy Voice and Robo, which actually got published by Viz, but I can't find any new copies anywhere, so I have no idea how long it was published ago or what happened to it. How much are these hardcovers for Kodansha? 24 something. They're kind of pricey, but I think they're some pretty nice quality. Then I have Volume 8 of Ultraman by Eiichi Shimizu and Tomohiro Shimoguchi. And I'm a big fan of this series. It's just very cool to see how they take Ultraman and give it a fresh spin, I guess, for audience that aren't familiar with Ultraman or what Ultraman was about. This is from Viz Signature. Another Viz Signature, which I try to not get as much, but of course, this being Gundam, I had to pick it up. It is Volume 4 of Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt by Yasuo Otagaki. And just check out the cover there, the lineup of act guys. Doesn't get much better than that. It is not the typical Universal Century story, I think. Well, Dagaki gives it a different spin. Probably not my favorite spin to a Universal Century story, but it's Gundam. What can you do? There's no other Gundam being published in English, right? And next, Welcome to the Ballroom, Volume 6 by Tomo Takeuchi. Really fun shonen. Love the dynamic art when the dances are going. Great characters, fun characters. Our main character, I forget his name, he's a pretty cool kid. And he's getting a new partner. Maybe, maybe not. And of course, you knew I had to pick this up. This is volume 5 of Happiness by Shizu Oshimi. It's been one of my favorites since it's come out. This is still shrink wrapped because, of course, it is amber mature now. But I'm sure most of you have read it by now. It is maybe a month old already. I don't know. I'm kind of late on my manga. And then I have Inuyashiki Volume 8 by Hiroya Oku. This has been another fun one. Very interesting seinen. I did finish reading Volume 7 not too long ago. And of course we finally get our main characters introduced to each other, as you can see there. And I really enjoyed when what's his name, Shishigami's talking to Mr. Inuyashiki and telling him, am I the bad guy to the story? It's like, of course you are, you're killing everyone. So great stuff. Highly recommend Inuyashiki if you, of course, if you enjoy Hiroya Oku's stuff. And next I have a volume that I was waiting for who knows how long to see it published, and it's finally here. It is volume 8 of Wolfsmund by Mitsuhisa Kuji. She is doing some great stuff in this. This is the last volume, of course. She did some great stuff with this manga. If you like historical fiction, I think this is the one that everyone should be picking up. I'm not sure how it ends. It's been so long since I read volume 7, but from what I remember, the battle was gonna get crazy. So the volume to end all volumes, volume 8 of Wolfsmund. This next one, I do not know much about it, but I knew it was coming out, and that is H.P. Lovecraft's The Hound and Other Stories, adaptation and art by Go Tanabe. I had heard of Tanabe's work. He does a lot of adaptations. This is published by Dark Horse. For those of you that are familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, I'm sure you'll probably know more than me. As it says, it is an adaptation of a couple stories from Lovecraft, translated by Zach Davidson. And Tanabe's art is interesting in itself. It kind of reminds me of of MPD Psycho, but I'm sure it's very different. So figured it's a one-shot, basically short stories. I'll give it a shot. And another shrink wrap book, because everyone knows this is pretty mature. That is Triage X number 13 by Shoji Sato. This almost looks like it's going back to his days at High School of the Dead. But if you like action, Triage X is a great title. Action-packed, great story. Yeah, there's a lot of fan service, tons of it, but I'm sure you could get past it. So that was everything I picked up in store for the month. But I do have 3 more volumes of manga that I picked up at Book Depository. First up, of course, I had to continue this. It is volume 13 of Shigurui by Takayuki Yamaguchi, which is an adaptation of Nario Nanjo's weird, crazy feudal Japan tale. Very brutal, very disturbing at times. Happy to check out more of Shigurui. 15 volumes long, 2 more volumes after this. Who knows when they'll publish it. I think this is the most recent volume that has come out from Ivrea, España. I don't know if I would recommend that you buy from the Ivrea. They're kind of bad with quality control at times, but there's no other way to get this book. It's not being published in English, so what can you do? El retrato de una época cruel y despiadada en un volumen 13 lleno de espíritus y demonios. What more do you want? Doesn't that sound dramatic enough? So that was volume 13 of Shigurui. And then I picked up 2 more volumes of a series that I really enjoyed the first volume of. And of course the anime is pretty amazing. That is Kids on the Slope by Yuki Kodama. This is volume 2 and volume 3. Here's Sentaro and I forgot her name already. But like I said, volume 1 was pretty fun. It's pretty much the anime. I think the anime was a pretty good adaptation. This of course reads a lot faster, I think, because of course you don't have the music like in the anime, but if you want to hear the music, I'm sure, you know, just throw on some Chet Baker while you're reading the manga, right? Because who doesn't love Chet Baker? And volume 1 did have an extra story. So there you have the manga haul for the months of July and August. If you stayed to the end, thank you very much for watching.